All right, everyone. Welcome to this daily Sidereal Astrology forecast. This is for Thursday, May 17th, 2018. All right, so we are still coming off of this very much new moon energy, this new cycle that recently started here around Tuesday. So great time still to be receptive to the new energies. The whole cycle starting in Taurus. It's essentially this new beginning with our resources, cultivating our inner and outer resources to essentially have more security in our lives. So this is very much still the theme today. We are easing up off of this Mars squaring up to Uranus. So if you felt any erratic energy, tension, clash, this type of stuff collectively over the past few days, that's starting to ease up today as we did have the major exact yesterday. Going into the weekend, that Mars is going to be sextiling Chiron, so we could be feeling a bit of healing and rejuvenation with that sort of masculine side. That side of ourself that wants things, has needs. Going through this healing and rejuvenation possibly today going into the weekend. All right, and we do have the moon going from Taurus into Gemini, so the later part of the day, maybe getting into the more practical side of things. Inquisitive energy could be the theme. All right, so let's look at all of this here in more detail when we return. All right, so let's take a look at the sky here for this Thursday. Again, we are using the actual size of the constellations, which does change the signs from mainstream astrology. If you are new to Sidereal, be sure to check out that link down below for more information. All right, so as you can see here, the moon is still very close to the sun. We just had that new moon in Taurus. Sun now making its way through Taurus for this lunar cycle, suggesting this theme around this earth energy. Taurus is about taking things slowly and steadily. Again, accessing our inner resources like our sense of self-reliance, self-worth, self-efficacy, the belief in ourself that we can cultivate and attain our values in life, and even externally as well, cultivating our resources, right? Enjoying the simple life, being grateful for what we have in our life, creating that material security is great with this cycle at this time. And with the sun here, it is how we're gaining energy. So the moon is going to be shifting out of Taurus today, going into Gemini. So later part of the day, maybe getting more into the mental and practical side of things. That will be the theme for most of the weekend. The inquisition, learning, sharing, exchanging, sort of rational aspect of ourselves. And the moon is going to go over the arm of Orion. Orion being the hunter is really like the combination between Taurus and Gemini, which is essentially going after the things that you might consider our physical needs, right? Physical needs. And with Gemini, using our minds and our rational minds in particular to pursue those physical needs and to attain our values, which is essentially this cusp energy between these two constellations. All right, as a backdrop, we have recently had, and we are still having some sign changes. We've had Mercury just recently enter Aries. So when it does come to our communications, I think we can be very direct at this time. I think there's a little bit more focus on ourselves collectively as well with this type of area here. So really good for this. I think anything that does involve the mind and communications is starting to ease up. We had a lot of uncertainty with the mind over the past many months, even with the routine, things we're thinking about, all of this starting to ease up with Mercury now in a bit of a fire sign, fire energy, right? When it comes to what we're thinking about and going about with the routine. Of course, we are still in the very early phases of the cycle, so it is good to take things slowly at this time, but sure enough, build some momentum. I do want to talk about Mars because Mars is right on the cusp between Sagittarius and Capricorn, right in between these two constellations. So as we go through this week, and especially the coming weeks, we will notice a little bit more grounded energy when it does come to us taking action. Pursuing things in such a way that we're collectively likely a bit more reserved about it. Seeing the long-term perspective, maybe a little bit patient is a healthy quality of Capricorn. This type of slow and steady energy, when it does come to getting things done, I think will be an increase as we come to these few weeks as we transition into Capricorn. All right, so in terms of the aspects, nothing going exact today, but still a very important part of the week. We did just have that Mars squaring up to Uranus. So this is that very clashy, erratic, tense energy, if you felt that collectively. But that is easing up since we've just had the exact aspect with it yesterday. So that's sort of being integrated. On a constructive note, if there's been anything in your life that you felt like you did want to take some action towards, but it required a bit of patience, it required a bit of listening to that freedom and wanting to break free, but now healthfully going about it in a way that's constructive, taking it one step at a time, which is what the square symbolizes. Still a great day for integrating that type of more detached perspective when it comes to what we want and pursuing those personal needs. As we get into the weekend, we will likely be feeling this today. It's not a major aspect, but Mars is sextiling up to Chiron, so that sort of masculine side of ourselves that did have that clash earlier in the week is now going through this sort of healing energy. So great weekend for this. I'll make, of course, the weekend video talking about that along with some of the other aspects. But today, if you're feeling anything that can really heal and nurture you, nurture yourself, heal yourself, when it comes to, again, that side that is about your confidence, your courage, your sense of self. Excellent day for doing that type of healing. It can be very rejuvenating, especially as we get into tomorrow, though. All right, so that is the day in a nutshell. The moon is going to be going over Venus. So on a minor note, there could be a new chapter with our perspective of our values and on relationships, possibly starting a new sort of monthly cycle with Venus. And Venus is transitioning out of Taurus going into Gemini as well this later part of the week. So we may notice our values are starting to shift as we get into the weekend. I think it's still a great time for, again, the more resourceful aspects of life, which is Taurus, all right, the central life, the material life, Earth. We can still be seeing that value there with Venus. But as we get into next week, valuing more of the inquisitive energy. Gemini, valuing communication, learning, reading, writing. And again, that will be the theme as the moon does shift into Gemini the later part of today. All right, so have a great day, everyone. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you all tomorrow for the weekend forecast.